This is an EPH single zone wireless system with a wireless enabled programmer and a wireless thermostat. To initially connect the wireless thermostat to the wireless programmer, follow the following steps. Pop down the lid of the programmer. There is a connect button on the front of the programmer. On the side of the thermostat there is a button for connect and a button for reset. Connect and reset. First of all, press the connect button on the programmer, followed by connect on the thermostat. Zone 1 on the programmer will begin to flash. Press Zone 1 select, followed by the OK button, and after a moment the temperature reading will appear here, which will correspond with the temperature reading on the thermostat. And there it is, 18.6 zone temperature and 18.6 reading on the thermostat. The programmer and thermostat are now connected wirelessly. To disconnect the wireless thermostat from the wireless programmer, simply press the connect button on the programmer once, and then press it again and hold it in for a number of seconds until the word Zone 1 on the right hand side of the programmer disappears, which is now gone. Press OK on the programmer, followed by pressing reset on the side of the thermostat. Your wireless thermostat is now disconnected from your programmer, and the temperature reading in the top middle of the programmer has now vanished. If the zone temperature disappears from the top center of the programmer and you are left with 3 dashes, this means that the thermostat has unpaired itself from the programmer. You will have to fully disconnect the units and reconnect again. On the wireless system, in order for the heating to be on, both the programmer must be calling for heat and also the thermostat must be calling for heat. For the thermostat to call for heat, you will see a symbol for a flame on the top right hand corner. Currently the programmer is in the auto mode. It's in the on position until 2200 hours. If I turn the thermostat off, the flame has disappeared, and now the red lights on the front of the clock have also gone off, even though the programmer says auto on until 2200 hours. If I turn the thermostat back on, the flame reappears, the red lights on the front of the clock come back on, and also the clock is now calling for heat also. Some of the basic operations of the wireless programmer and wireless thermostat. On the front of the programmer you have a boost button and an advance button. If you simply just want to boost the heating, you can do that for 1 hour, 2 hours or 3 hours, simply by pressing the boost button once, twice or 3 times in quick succession. Boost the heating for 1 hour, and on the front of the programmer it will say Zone 1 boost is on until 22:45. To turn off the boost, simply press boost one more time. To boost the heating for 2 hours, press the boost button 2 times in quick succession, and now Zone 1 boost is on until 23:45. To cancel this, press boost. When I pop down the lid of the programmer, there is a Zone 1 select button. Currently the word off is in this square box on the right hand side, meaning that the programmer is constantly off and will never come on. If I press Zone 1 select, it now goes to the auto mode. The auto mode is the same as the timer mode, So whatever program you have inputted to the programmer, when it is in the auto mode, it will run through that cycle for the periods of time that you have chosen to be on or off. Currently it tells us it's in the auto mode, it is on until 22:30. If I press zone 1 select again, it jumps to the all day function. The all day function means that the programmer will stay on until the last switching time in the evening. In this case, it is 22:30. If I press zone 1 select again, now the word on and nothing else in the box is there, meaning your programmer is going to be on constantly 24 hours a day. If I press zone 1 select again, it goes to the off position again, and the programmer will be constantly off and will not come on. If I want to put a program into the programmer, simply move this switch to the program set. Currently this programmer is set up for Monday to Friday, and then a separate program for Saturday and Sunday, a 5 and 2 day. You can have this programmer used as a 24-hour programmer or a 7-day programmer simply by pressing a switch at the back of the clock before it is put on the wall. So we run through the program for Monday to Friday first of all. You have 3 settings per day that you can have your desired times. Simply by using the buttons OK, plus and minus. Your first program I can change to come on at 7:30 in the morning. Press OK, and the off time I can move that to 8:30 by pressing the plus button. Press OK, it now jumps to the second program for the day, on at midday. If I'm happy with that, I press OK, and the off period midday again, meaning that the programmer will not come on at that set time in the afternoon. The third and final program for the day, on at 16:30, and I can increase that to 1700 hours. Press OK, and I can press the minus button to bring this down to 2200 hours. I then press the OK button again, and now we're going to program for Saturday and Sunday. So you can have it different times for Saturday and Sunday, again just by using OK, plus and minus. The first program for the day, I can bring that down to 7 AM, press OK, and off at 10 if I'm happy with that, press OK. The second switching time in the day, on at midday, off at midday, press OK a couple of times. And the third switching time for the day, on at 1700 hours, again I can change this to whatever I want by pressing plus and minus. Press OK, and the final off period for the day, again I can change that to whatever I wish, and I press OK again, and now you've set up a program for Monday to Friday and a separate program for Saturday and Sunday. To get back into the run position, simply move program set switch into the center run position, and now you're set up with a program. And if you want the programmer to work off this program, again pop down the lid, press zone 1 select until you see the word auto, and the programmer will run through the times you've just set up on the system.